here we go, everybody. Good evening. Carson Meredith with you. It is 6:52 on Saturday, September 21st. It's the last day of summer, and it feels every bit of it. It has been a very hot and humid Saturday, and of course, we've got a few downpours that we're tracking at this hour. A lot of us have stayed dry, but I'm going to show you where a few storms are at the moment here in just a second. And as you saw on the Wave Weather app or wherever you're watching us this evening, our headline tonight, this is just the beginning. We've got a very, very unsettled stretch of weather ahead. I've had to bump up our rain and storm chances for the next few days in particular. And then we might have some tropical trouble here in about a week. We're going to do our best to walk you through all those details here on Wave Weather Now tonight. Who is watching? Michael C. Wells says the humidity's terrible. Where's fall? I'm with you, man. It's awful. Now, here's the good news. As you'll see on the 10-day here in a minute, we do have some cooler air on the way. Not too far away, in fact. I'm hopeful, not certain, but I'm hopeful that today was our last day in the 90s this year. Fingers crossed, right? Jocelyn says, good evening. I'm so excited for fall. And hey, it's my birthday on Tuesday. Well, happy early birthday to you, Jocelyn. Hopefully it's not too rainy on Tuesday. DJ King says he's ready for fall. Good evening. Hope all is well. Matthew says, yeah, it's hot. It's terrible. We need to start cooling down a little sooner, right? Not until the end of September. Goodness gracious. Ralph's watching in Nicholasville as always. Sheila says, where's my rain? If you didn't see any rain today, Sheila, or anybody that is watching us tonight, you might get your chance here over the next few days. Susan says a bunch of rain or a bunch of thunder, I should say, where she's at in Garfield. Yeah, that's where some of those storms are at the moment. Rhonda says way too hot for those of us with health issues. We didn't have an air quality alert today, with all the pollutants and all that kind of makes things not so good if we have respiratory issues or asthma or anything like that. But yeah, still just not a really good day to be outside, right? Okay, to the maps we go. That's a live view of radar. And I'll be very candid when I say the models have been terrible today. They have not been great at all trying to figure out where these boundaries are, these frontal boundaries that we've been talking about for the last few days, where they stalled out, and where they're going to set off additional storms. A lot of models really have kept us dry all afternoon, and obviously that has not been the case. For a lot of us it has, yes, but I'm saying that a lot of models had all of Wave Country dry. But we've got a pretty healthy storm that's just kind of sitting in western Hardin County at the moment. So that is where we are going to start off our talk tonight. Very heavy rain continues. I think somebody commented that's in Eastview. Yeah, Sabrina on YouTube said, yeah, it is pouring in Eastview in Hardin County. Yeah, it is, Sabrina. There you are right there. Very, very heavy rain coming down. This is one of those subtle, not necessarily a front, but there's another boundary in the atmosphere. We call it a mesoscale boundary. It was left behind from the downpours early this morning. And as we heated things up today, that allowed for that boundary, that little boundary somewhere in Hardin County, to set off these new storms this evening. And that's what we've been tracking for the last really couple of hours. And the problem that I'm going to have to watch over the next hour or two is this storm really isn't moving a whole lot. Let me put radar into motion. There you see it go up from E-Town around 4:30. And it's just been kind of back building and developing on top of itself for the last 2 hours. So we'll have to keep a close eye on the flooding potential, not only in western Hardin County, but also maybe into Grayson County. If you know anybody in Clarkson, Kentucky, got Honeyfest going on in Grayson County tonight. Might want to shoot him a text, give him a call, let him know there's some pretty heavy rain and lightning. I'd say 5 or 6 miles away. Just give him a quick heads up on that. Now, this storm is not severe, so that's a good thing. But this is going to be the storyline, guys, for the next 3 days. Today is the lowest storm chances we have for the next 3 days. It's only going up from here. Now, as we zoom things back out, let me go to the home view. You see, a lot of us are dry. And quite frankly, I expect a lot of wave country to be dry through the rest of the night. So if you're heading out this evening, getting some dinner, there's so much going on around town. Goodness, Racing Louisville's going on tonight. The Bats are playing. We got Bourbon and Beyond, of course. If you're heading to those events, or if you're just heading out on the town, I think here in the city we will likely stay dry. Tiny, tiny storm chance, but we'll likely be in good shape. The main focus for the storm chances this evening, obviously, are going to be in this particular area of wave country, along and south of the parkways, where that storm is in Hardin County at the moment. Janet is watching on the other side of the river in Seymour, where it is hot up in Seymour. Yeah, it's hot everywhere today. Pat's begging, bring on some cooler weather. I've got some in the 10-day. Is it a chill? Not necessarily, but it's back to where we should be in late September. So that is indeed in our 10-day earliest alert. Steve says he's ready for fall. Amanda's asking anything severe. I don't expect severe weather tonight. There were a couple of severe storms well west of us earlier, knocked down a tree or two, but that is no longer the case. In general, we're looking good tonight. Now, as we get towards Monday and Tuesday, that might be a different story. I'm going to show you that information here in just a moment as well. Katie says there was a small storm rolled through Carroll County this morning. Yeah, you're exactly right, Katie. Again, the cold front is nearby. Let me show you where this front is. In fact, it's easier to show it than say it. There it is, just hanging along the Ohio River. It has not moved all day. But with that front nearby, it's allowing these storms to go up and to just kind of linger, even with the hot, drier air mass in place. So that's why we've had those downpours this evening. We cool things down a little bit tonight. We lose the fuel in the atmosphere. That's why we're mostly dry overnight tonight. But what our focus will become over the next few days is this mess out in Kansas and Oklahoma. This is a very, very messy weather pattern, guys. You've heard Brian talk about it on the Storm Talk blog this week. It's a mess. It is very, very busy, and it's very murky as well. So there's another frontal boundary. You see it right through Kansas into Oklahoma and Texas. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings right there. That is near Topeka, Kansas. Anybody ever been to Topeka? It's the capital of Kansas. I don't know why I know that, but anyway. As this front slowly crawls east over the next few days, we're going to have a lot more moisture in place and enough of that force in the atmosphere that we were just talking about to give us more waves of showers and storms. It is not going to rain every single second over the next 3 days. There will be dry time, maybe a lot of dry time. But at the same time, we'll have to be tracking and watching those waves of showers and storms starting tomorrow, going into Monday, and into Tuesday. Why are the storm chances lingering that long? Because that front I just circled in Kansas is crawling. It is a very, very slow-moving front. And that's what keeps those storm chances around for an extended stretch, as opposed to just being a quick cold front, scoots on through, 1 day only storm chance, and we're done. That's not the case this go-round in particular. Let's see who else is in the comments. Teresa says, football. It's good to have football, isn't it? If only we had football weather. And in case you're wondering, we did not have our 6 o'clock newscast on regular TV tonight because of college football on Wave and NBC. But we will be back on TV tonight at 11. Jason says, hello from Cloverport. Matthew says, will the burn ban be lifted after all this rain? That's a really good question. We will get a good amount of rain out of the next few days. I think around a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain for most of us. The thing that I'm concerned about, though, is it's not going to be enough rain to totally wipe out the drought. It'll give us a little more soil moisture, which is good, right? Kind of dampen that wildfire potential, but is it going to be enough? It'll be right on the edge, Matthew. That's a really good question, though. Weather Geek says, watching the radar, happy to see rain. We'll take whatever we can get, right, Weather Geek? Patricia says, still pouring in E-Town. Let me go back to the local radar real quick. I'll show you where that storm is, especially on the west side of E-Town. If you're going down the, excuse me, the Western Kentucky Parkway, between Litchfield and E-Town, be careful. Good bit of lightning with that storm as well. What does that say? 27 lightning strikes here in the last few minutes. Let's see. Judah says hello, and looky there, we got a spammer. How about that? Haven't had spammers in a while. Okay, so this is the only storm I'm watching at this point. Extremely heavy rain in Hardin County, western Hardin County, Eastview. As you get out towards the Grayson County line, Millerstown, right there where all the counties come together. Some of this heavy rain moving into Grayson County, even into parts of Hart County. Anybody out there watching us in Hart County, Bonneville, Priceville? Let us know what you're seeing. So this is the only storm in our backyard. I'll show you these storms out west of us near Evansville. They are weakening, and I don't expect them to be an issue for us tonight. What I will watch, just to be on the safe side, is you see all these little outflow boundaries from these storms. There's one, there's another one. So all those little outflow boundaries could set off another downpour or two in our western counties, DuBois, Perry, Breckenridge, Grayson in particular. That chance is low. It's something I'll keep an eye on, though, just in case. But once we get this bad boy gone, once we get it out of here, we're looking pretty quiet for the rest of the night. I wouldn't necessarily worry about really any storm chances in particular, but also just severe weather. We don't have to worry about that tonight. All right, I'm going to load up here the rest of my forecast for you tonight. That is a live view of Bourbon and Beyond. That is a lot of people, my friends, and I hope they're all staying cool. It has been a very hot day. That is for sure. We got up to 93 last check here in Louisville. It is now 89. So we're cooling down some. Not a lot, but we'll take what we can get. That dew point is 67. That is air you can wear. It feels yucky outside. That is for sure. We've got mostly cloudy skies. Those clouds are kind of filtering in. I do expect some of those clouds to clear overnight tonight. Not all of them, but some. And like we mentioned at the top, I'll keep a small shower chance as well. Otherwise, it's warm and muggy tonight with lows in the 60s and 70s. All right, here we go for Sunday. Let's switch gears here. Let's talk about tomorrow. As I said, this is not going to be an all-day washout. Okay? However, I do expect to see a cluster of showers and storms to our west tomorrow morning that will try to move in around midday. So if you're heading out to church early tomorrow morning, if you're going to Bourbon and Beyond, whatever Sunday events you have, especially during the middle part of the day, have the rain gear handy and make sure the Wave Weather app on your phone is set to those heavy rain and lightning alerts. You notice the storm chances are at their highest late morning through early afternoon, 11 a.m. to 4 or 5 in the afternoon, okay? So that middle part of the day, basically. Now, tomorrow in particular is tricky because we still have some drier air in place. It's not totally dry air, of course, but it's going to kind of be competing with all this moisture coming in from the south and west, and it's basically a tug of war. Is the moisture going to win out and give us the rain through the day, or will that drier air kind of eat up some of that rain? And that's the big question that models are really struggling with. Here's Futurecast for tomorrow, okay? 9 a.m. There you see the leading edge of that cluster or first cluster of showers and storms in southern Indiana, between Bloomington and Evansville. I do expect these storms to weaken as they move into wave country tomorrow. So if you're talking about a severe weather threat on Sunday, I don't see one at this time. Could there be a couple of gusty storms like we have right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't see an organized severe weather threat tomorrow. We mentioned those storms as they move in will weaken. However, you notice there's still a lot of scattered showers around tomorrow afternoon. And there could be some embedded lightning strikes in there too. But you also notice there's some dry pockets. This is not an all-day washout, my friends. This is going to be very hit and miss throughout the day. But if you have outdoor plans, rain gear is a must, just in case. And make sure you know where to go inside if there's any lightning, if there's any embedded thunderstorms in the mix. And you also notice those temperatures are cooler tomorrow. Is it going to be cool and comfortable? That's a judgment call. We'll be in the upper 80s, mid to upper 80s tomorrow afternoon. So better than today, right? Let's keep going. That's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We get towards 7 in the evening. Still some scattered showers across all of wave country. If you were watching us earlier this week, we said the higher storm chances, rain and storm chances on Sunday would be across southern Indiana. That no longer looks to be the case. You'll still get rain in southern Indiana, but it looks as though now everybody in wave country has that chance to see showers and storms tomorrow. Not all day, but waves of showers and storms. We all kind of are on equal footing when it comes to the rain threat tomorrow, okay? So as we go towards the evening, that first big round of showers and storms moves out. There could be some lingering showers through the evening. And then as we get after midnight, tomorrow night into early Monday, models continue to suggest maybe another round of showers and storms. Likely not severe, but something to keep in mind. Might wake you up early Monday morning in particular. Got this one spam account that's just blowing up the comments. Jeez Louise, what a mess. Let's go to some non-spammers here at our comments, shall we? Let's see if I can answer some of your questions. Michael's got a good comment. Feels like summer went into overtime. No kidding. Sure did. Nancy's asking if we'll get any rain in Lebanon. Tonight, not likely. That storm that I was showing you near E-Town will stay west of Lebanon. But as we just showed you on Futurecast, there's a good chance you'll see at least some rain in Lebanon tomorrow. Late morning into the afternoon in particular. Let's see. Michelle says she's in Webster. Rain, that is surrounding us, and it's fading before it gets to us. That's the tricky. This is a true summer-like kind of day. Hot, humid, with scattered storms where you just kind of have to babysit them on radar and see where the heck they're going to go, right? Sometimes they keep on going for a while. Sometimes they fizzle out right in your backyard, right, Michelle? So, again, if you're not seeing rain tonight, you'll get lucky here in the next few days. There will be some rain for all of us. Bring on the rain. Yes. Terry says, too hot. Should wait till a little later into the fall. Yeah. That is for sure. Michelle says, going to the pumpkin patch tomorrow, just hoping you can get in and get out before the afternoon. Yeah, I'd say the earlier in the day tomorrow for any outdoor plans, the better. Is it a washout tomorrow? No. But if you want to avoid a lot of the rain, get some outdoor stuff done early in the day. Terry says, do a rain dance. No, I'm good. Nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs to see that from me. That is for sure. Judith asked on YouTube, if the tropics are heating up in the Gulf, do you think we could get some of that rain? Judith, you read my mind. I am going to answer that question for you here coming up in just a few minutes. Now, Kathy, you're getting a step ahead of me here. A little too quick for me. I'm ready for snow if it's not going to rain. You and Brian will get along really well, Kathy, I bet. All right. So I think we're good in the comments for now. So we've talked about tonight. We've talked about tomorrow. Let's shift gears again and go to Monday now. Because as this cold front that's way out west now finally moves in or approaches us early next week, it's going to give us a little more shear in the air or in the atmosphere, a little more wind energy, right? And that could allow for a strong storm threat to be a little higher. Instead of just being one or two stronger storms here or there, we may get into a situation Monday and Tuesday where if we get enough fuel in the atmosphere, that fuel can work with that wind to give us a few strong to severe storms. So for that reason, the SPC, Storm Prediction Center, has added a marginal risk for strong storms on Monday. Now you notice they're mainly focused on Kentucky in particular. Why? Better shot to get some fuel, instability, some clearing skies on Monday afternoon, primarily. But I don't want to narrow it down that closely at this point, because I think there's a chance that any of us in wave country could actually see a stronger storm as we get towards Monday. But if I had to pick the area that would maybe have a better chance, it would be across Kentucky. So it's a low-end threat, but you notice on Futurecast, maybe as early as midnight, Sunday night into Monday morning, we could very well be tracking scattered storms. Now, I don't think storms in the early part of the day on Monday will be severe. It's the afternoon that we'll have to watch. It's very uncertain, guys. This forecast is such a mess. I'm going to have to take some Tylenol when I get home tonight. Just been a headache to forecast this. If we get enough fuel in the atmosphere for those storms to fire back up Monday afternoon, I would expect a few severe thunderstorm warnings Monday afternoon. If we don't get that fuel, then that threat is lower Monday afternoon. This particular forecast model, not showing a lot of fuel. Good, right? A lot of cloud cover, keeping our temperatures in the 70s on Monday. I'm not ready to say that just yet, but this would be a good trend to keep that cloud cover, keep it socked in, keep us cooler, limit that fuel. And that would, of course, limit our chance for strong to severe storms on Monday. I think we will have showers and storms on Monday, morning and afternoon. It's just that afternoon part in particular that we'll have to see if those storms can ramp up and be severe. Hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense for everybody. Type, I'll steal a page from Brian's playbook here. Type 789 if everything makes sense that we've talked about tonight. And if it doesn't, send me a question in the comments on any of our social platforms. I'll be glad to answer them. Okay, late next week. Remember when I said this forecast is a mess and the setup is a mess? Here's the reason why. You can blame the big blue H this time around. High pressure in the Northeast, out into the Atlantic, is basically blocking everything. It's like you're driving down the Waterson and somebody wrecked up in front of you on the Waterson and now you can't get through, right? You've got all of these disturbances coming in from the west, like boom, boom, boom. But they can't go anywhere once they run into this high. So that's why we have the lingering storm chances into early next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And that's also why there's the chance we may have to have some lingering showers around through the rest of next week, because nothing can move. Nothing can get a move on. If nothing else, it's going to stay cloudy late next week, and there will be a few showers. Let's throw another curveball into the mix, shall we? The tropics. Still tropical season, right? You've probably seen a lot of buzz on social media this week about this system in the Gulf. And yes, there will likely be a tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico next week. Big picture, couple little disturbances right here, likely not going to amount to anything. This particular system on the right side of your screen is one to watch. Fairly good chance that becomes a more organized tropical system as well, but it's so far out in the ocean, we don't need to worry about it right now. This particular system in the Gulf, soon to be in the Gulf, is one we will have to watch. National Hurricane Center has a 60% chance that this system will become a named tropical cyclone in the next week. And I will say the track of this system is becoming a little more clear than it was, say, yesterday. In general, models are suggesting that this thing is going to move in this general direction, kind of north and northeast. That would mean a potential landfall either next Thursday or Friday, or next Friday or Saturday. Getting ahead of myself, I apologize. So about a week from now, this potential tropical system will be moving near the Gulf Coast. Beyond that, what will this system do? Well, if it takes that north and northeast track, that would bump up our rain chances for next weekend as well. But I'm just telling you guys, this forecast is so volatile. It's going to keep changing and changing time and time and time again over the next week. That's what we're thinking at this point, is this system will go north and northeast, possible landfall along the Gulf Coast about a week from now. And what's left of that system could give us a few showers by next weekend. All right, so that's your tropic update tonight. But we've got quite a bit to cover over the next few days in particular with just these general storm chances. I'll take the 10-day full here real quick so you can see it better. 87 tomorrow, and that's assuming that we get some breaks in the storms, breaks in the clouds, and things like that. And then we gradually begin to cool down. Low 80s Monday and Tuesday, and we're just going to hover in the upper 70s to near 80 Wednesday onward, which is very typical for this time of year. Our average high for today is 81, so yeah, we'll be in that general ballpark as we get towards Wednesday and through the rest of the extended forecast. Okay, did y'all get that? It has been a busy forecast here tonight, and things are going to stay pretty unsettled here in the days to come. So hopefully all of that made sense. Sorry, just looking at comments here, making sure I'm not missing anything. Philip's got a good question. Been wanting to ask a meteorologist this. Runs a lawn care company in Shelby County, and it's so dry in Shelby County. Yeah, it's dry everywhere, but certainly in Shelby County too. But you drive 20 miles in any direction and the yards are green, right? So what's caused Shelby County to be so dry when it's rained all around? You watch several storms just die out right before they move into Shelby County, right? Thank you for the kind words, Philip. We appreciate you watching as always. Quite frankly, that is luck, my friend. Bad luck. You know, let me show you. I'll show you the current radar with where that storm is in E-Town because it'll kind of prove my point. During the summer months, and in a kind of summer-like setup, there's not as much steering in the atmosphere. You know how you got to use a steering wheel to drive a car, of course. Well, when you're talking about the atmosphere, it's usually boundaries or cold fronts or warm fronts that are acting as the steering wheel, right? And those particular features in the atmosphere are not as strong, not as organized as they are during the spring or fall or winter. And so a lot of times that means you have these scattered storms that pop up during the peak heat of the day, and they don't really know where to go. Sometimes they just sit where they develop. They just sit in the same spot until they run out of rain in the cloud. Sometimes they move, but not a whole lot. There's been plenty of times in the spring months during severe weather, we're tracking storms that are moving 50 miles per hour. You just don't get that a lot in the summer. I mean, let me go to this storm in Hardin County. This thing developed at 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. And let me show you what it's done. I mean, it's barely moved. It's moved a little bit to the west and southwest, but not much. So it truly is a little bit of luck, Philip, bad luck for Shelby County, that you guys haven't seen as many of those pop-up scattered storms as the neighbors around you. So I hope that answers your question. I kind of simplified it there, but especially in the summer months, that's what happens a lot, is you just have to bank on some of these weak little disturbances or boundaries to kind of act as the steering wheel for these storms to get into your backyard. But sometimes if they're steering in the wrong direction, you're not going to luck out on any rain or storms. So that's at least one of the reasons why, especially right now, Philip. So I hope that answered your question. And of course, we appreciate you watching. Lara asks, is there a storm blowing in from the west tonight? Not tonight. You see these downpours out near Evansville. They are weakening. They're not going to be an issue for us. But in general, as we're looking ahead to the next few days, here's that cold front we were talking about earlier in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, right here. And that will slowly move in from the west over the next 3 days. But until that system moves through, we're going to have those storms around for the next few days. So hope that answers your question there, Lara. Adam's watching tonight up in Bloomington. Hope all is well. Did IU win today? I think they did. They look good, man. They look really good. Got our first rainfall of September last night, 1/2 inch at my house up there in Bloomington. Yeah, there's quite a few more storms up that way, up in Bloomington near Indy last night. So I think that's it for all the questions. Hope everything made sense tonight, guys. There is a ton to talk about. And quite honestly, it's one of those weather patterns where I literally just have to sit down and just mentally in my head process day by day by day. That's how active it is over the next 10 days. So hope that makes sense for everybody. And again, there's going to be a lot of adjustments in the days to come with how each individual feature in the atmosphere plays out. So this is definitely a situation where one day is going to affect the next, which affects the next and the next and the next. Kind of a domino effect that we'll have to watch here over the next 7 to 10 days. But for the time being, we're going to focus on our hit and miss storm chances tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. None of those days are washouts, but you need the rain gear just in case. And then for Monday and Tuesday in particular, we may have to watch for a strong storm risk as opposed to just regular storms. So tomorrow, not expecting strong storms. Monday and Tuesday could have a few strong storms. So we'll focus on that for now. And then we'll look ahead to maybe some tropical mischief here in about a week or so. Appreciate you guys watching as always. We will be back on TV after college football tonight on Wave News at 11. And, of course, I'll be here tomorrow morning on Wave News Sunrise, watching those storms moving in from the west. And I'll be back here in the Wave Weather Now studios around the same time tomorrow night. So I certainly hope you will tune in. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay cool tonight. Stay dry. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening and an even better day tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Talk soon.